je pense que notre politique est la bonne. Elle repose sur le courage du président Bazoum, sur l'engagement de nos diplomates, de notre ambassadeur sur le terrain, qui reste, malgré les pressions, malgré tout et malgré toutes les déclarations d'autorité illégitimes, grâce à l'engagement de nos forces de sécurité intérieure et de nos militaires.
If they cannot respect Niger, of course they will not respect any other person. They think in their rightful minds that they are above any other African, and that is infuriating, and that is crazy. Now,
if you see me in the streets, better holler at me. Seeking for a beat, throw them dollars at me. I don't like defeat, take that away from me. You tryna be like me, you couldn't handle my story. But we gon' let you know, we gon' let you know. We gon' let you know, we gon' let you know.
Hey guys, thank you for tuning in, and welcome once again. Jay speaking. If this is your first time coming through, man, hey, I appreciate you stopping by. Whoever connected you to me, it's all love, I mean. And I just want to say to everybody that has been watching the previous vlogs that I've been dropping about the recent situation in French-speaking Africa, I just want to say I appreciate you. It's all love. Those from Haiti, man, my brothers from Haiti, USA, Europe, Nigeria, man, everywhere around the globe, I can start calling out. Australia, I see you in the building, man. It's all love, but we gotta do what we gotta do, and we gotta say what we have to say. For the past couple of months, man, a whole lot of coups have been occurring in Africa, and it so happens that it's about French colonists being fed up of the status quo, and they try to switch the paradigm-ish. They're trying to move past what they've been drunk in. When I talk about drunk in leadership, the hegemony of the French Empire, and that's just all I talk about. This is your first time seeing this face, man. Thank you for coming through. Please do me a favor and you just give me that thumbs up. You feel me? Like this vlog so that YouTube can actually suggest to other people. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have been talking about the situation between the Republic of Niger. It's a French colony. A couple of weeks ago, they decided that enough is enough, and they took out the French-backed corrupt leader. He's under house arrest. Fast forward, we're gonna talk about the situation in Niger because Jay has been following it, and I've been staying abreast with it. French-speaking African citizen living in the diaspora. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we all do understand what is called diplomacy, diplomatic terms, diplomatic norms, and ever since the situation started in Niger, every other country has put out a warning to its embassy, consular staff, to its diplomats, and some of them already left that country. However, there's one imperialist, there's one colonial power whose ambassador is defying the norms. Every possible avenue has been followed. The military junta came in. Yes, they put an end to a French-backed politician, somebody that was there doing the bidding of France. I'm not even gonna call his name, but I'm glad that they took him out. This man, yes, he was democratically elected, but this man was not serving his people. This man was not even doing nothing for his own people. See, people give you the power. There's something in politics we call the social contract. People give you the sovereign power to handle matters regarding their daily life and their well-being. It is your position to work for those who gave you that power. But of course, I'm not going to try and lecture you people about social contract and political and public administration on this vlog. That's not why I'm here. The military juntas, man, took out this bomb of a president, and they decided that, you know what, We know exactly who he was working for. We know the interests of the people that he was backing. So they were like, you know what? We need to stop these people, because without stopping these people, we will have problems going ahead. We will have problems living and putting in place the kind of mindset, the kind of governance, the kind of leadership that we want. So what happened was, they told every embassy, be very careful, but they told one particular embassy, one particular diplomatic corps, the French, we don't need you here. We need you to evacuate. We need you to leave. Just go. We don't want you anymore. We have problems in our own country. These are internal issues. We want to talk about our problems. We want to fix our situation. Leave. Bunch of them left, but no, the French said, no, we gonna stay here. Though the entitlement, oh, we gonna stay here. We do not recognize you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't do law, but I do believe that when you go to a land, whatever the law and the customs are of that land, it is not your place to tell them that whoever is the leader, whoever comes into position of leadership, it's not your place to tell them that you recognize or not recognize them. And mind you, looking at law and customs again, if you go to any village, if you go to any place, and there is a core, there is a body of leadership, it doesn't matter if they came in by ousting somebody that you backed, you need to respect them. That's just decency. But because France has been known to disrespect its colonies, before I proceed, I will say this. My first vlog, I talked about 60 years of imperialism in Africa's over, and my brothers in the diaspora corrected me. So let me rephrase that statement that I did. 400 years of French hegemony, 400 years of France doing nonsense to its colonies. It's gradually starting to fade, and we will talk about the different colonies around the globe that France has been a nightmare to. Let's go back to Niger. The military juntas, they took over. The population went crazy. Everybody was happy because people were scared. I'm talking about the average citizen. They were scared to do anything, to mount any resistance, because we do know what some of these French African leaders, we all know what you do. You put the military in your pocket, you make yourself the head of everything, head of justice, head of legislative, head of judiciary, head of executive. You do that. Yeah, there are three arms of government. You try to consolidate power so that you can, of course, the average person is going to be scared to come against you because they didn't know who was with you. But the moment that the military, which is always what some of these African leaders in these funny countries do, took him house arrest, they were happy. Now when people are happy, it means that you should know that they want or they support whatever decision that was taken. Whenever you go to a land and people that are inhabitants of that land are happy that certain things are happening, you need to follow suit. But we know your level of entitlement, we know your level of wickedness, we know your level of I owe you. You said no, you do not recognize them. Now my question is this: to every African that is like, oh man, I support France, blah 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 blah, to any person in the rightful mind that is standing with France on this whole notion of they do not recognize the military junta, while that person that they do recognize, your puppet, is under house arrest. You are an enemy of Africa. You are an enemy of progress. But we're not going to dwell on that. So the military junta, they gave him 48 hours. France, in its normal ways, didn't respect that. It's kind of like they are taunting. Let's see what you're going to do. Mind you, these people have 1,500 militaries in Niger. Of course, the past couple of years they've been building military presences, military bases around Africa because in their mind they own Africa and every resources that's coming out from its colony is theirs, kind of like birthright. Now, ladies and gentlemen, they disrespected the first one, the first order for them to leave, the ambassador. He boldly, he's not going to do it. And then guess what? The president had a meeting with some of the ambassadors and told them that he supports what the ambassador is doing. Now, I don't want to go back to what happened to the American ambassador up north in Africa. Yeah, the Benghazi situation when Hillary Clinton was the Secretary of State. That man was killed. Chris, may he so rest in peace. But that's not what we're talking about. But because France knows exactly why she doesn't want to leave, what she was benefiting, keeping that, his puppet in position, they are vehemently bent on staying there. So the military junta was like, man, what we gonna do now? Okay, we gonna take away their immunity. They did that. While all of these things are happening, the people are very, very glad. They are manifesting, protesting in front of the embassy. Of course, any embassy around the globe is not, technically speaking, it's in Niger, but that land is France. That land in particular is all France. But these people have been camping in front of that embassy to make their presence known, to let them know that they are with the military juntas. But because France has this nasty attitude of of control, they were like, nope. So they gave this man 48 hours after taking off his immunity. Now, ladies and gentlemen, any person who knows about diplomats, any person who knows about appointments with, whenever you are appointed as an ambassador, as a consular person, as a diplomat to work in any country, you go to that country, whoever is in control, you hand your letter from your own country, telling them that I'm here to represent my country, and that country has the right to accept it and welcome you, same way as they do have the right to take that immunity from you. They took it. Why are we here? We are here because France has decided that they will not respect any French-speaking African countries. If they cannot respect Niger, of course, they will not respect any other person. They think in their rightful minds that they are above any other African, and that is infuriating, and that is crazy. Now, I will say this. I will end this vlog by saying this. Do you think that if the ambassador for Niger was in France and there was a situation, if the tables were turned and there was a situation like this, and the ambassador of Niger or the ambassador of any any French African speaking country was like, I will not leave, this is my land, I want you to leave or come and let me know what you think would have been the outcome. But you know what? We Africans, we have been patient with France. Niger, they have been patient. They give every avenue. While doing that, ECOWAS, France is also pressuring, man. Europeans are pressuring ECOWAS to do some shit. We all know the tactics that are happening. But if you could recognize the military junta for one French-speaking country, why can't you recognize the military junta for Niger? Of course, we all know that is because you are siphoning uranium. We all know that. But I'm gonna leave it at that. Leave a comment and let us discuss this whole concept. What do you think is going to happen? Do you foresee military intervention? Of course, on the continent, we have France has had over 122 military interventions, so-called to protect their interests. I want you to leave a comment. Let's talk about it. I love you guys, man. Keep going, and we pray that this doesn't escalate to the way it is. Any rationally thinking human being would have left. I'm talking about the ambassador, but because they know exactly why they are there. Or we gonna talk about a whole lot of these things, you feel me? Leave a comment and let me know exactly what you feel. I mean, I love you, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up always and share. From me to you though, stay blessed. My people in Niger, we are with you, we praying for you, and I do pray that any global organization that is about to invade that country, and I pray that every other country that has had a coup, I'm talking about from Guinea to Burkina Faso to Sudan to Chad, you guys should just go all in there. It's all for one, one for all. I mean, peace.
Creation, reaction, God. Big up TRB family. MisterJaay, I see you. I know some artists don't do this. God bless you and your families.